I'm just going to read you a bunch of Wilfred Owen's wolf poetry because I really like Wilfred Owen as a poet, and I thought I quite like that it's very clever and brilliant, so I'll read you it. First one is Dulce et Decorum Est. It's one of his most famous. Bent double, like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot. All went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of tired, outstripped 5-9s that dropped behind. Gas! Gas! Quick, boys! An ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone still was yelling out and stumbling, and floundering like a man in fire or lime. Dim, through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea, I saw him drowning. In all my dreams, before my helpless sight, he plunged at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch the white eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face, like a devil sick of sin, if you could hear, at every jolt, the blood come gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell with such high zest two children, ardent for some desperate glory, the old lie, Dulce et Decorum Est, Pro Patria Mori. The next one is The Sentry. Okay. We'd found an old Boche dugout, and he knew, and gave us hell, for shell on frantic shell hammered on top, but never quite burst through. Rain, guttering down in waterfalls of slime, kept slush waist-high, that rising hour by hour choked up the steps too thick with clay to climb. What murk of air remained stank old, and sour with fumes of whiz-bangs, and the smell of men who'd lived there years, and left their curse in the den, if not their corpses. There we herded from the blast of whiz-bangs, but one found our door at last, buffeting eyes and breath snuffing out the candles, and thud, flump, thud. Down the steep steps came thumping and splashing in the flood, deluging muck. The sentry's body, then his rifle, handles of old bush bombs, and mud in ruck on ruck. We dragged him up, for killed, until he whined, "Oh, sir, my eyes, I'm blind! I'm blind, I'm blind!" Coaxing, I held a flame against his lids, and said if he could see the least blurred light, he was not blind. In time he'd get all right. "I can't," he sobbed. Eyeballs, huge, bulged like squidged, watched my dreams still. But I forgot him there in posting next for duty, and sending a scout to beg a stretcher somewhere, and floundering about to other posts under the shrieking air. Those other wretches, how they bled and spewed, and one who would have drowned himself for good. I try not to remember these things now. Let dread hark back one word only. How half listening to that sentry's moans and jumps, and wild chattering of his broken teeth, renewed most horribly whenever crumps pummeled the roof and slogged the air beneath. With a dense din, I say, we heard him shout, "I see your lights!" But ours had long died out. And then, I quite like a few of these. Another one is Anthem for Doomed Youth, which is quite another famous one. What passing bells for these who die as cattle? Only the monstrous anger of the guns. Only the stuttering rifles' rapid rattle can patter out their hasty orisons. No mockeries for them from prayers or bells, nor any voice of mourning save the choirs, the shrill, demented choirs of wailing shells, and bugles calling for them from sad shires. What candles may be held to speed them all? Not in the hands of boys, but in their eyes shall shine the holy glimmers of goodbyes. The pallor of girls' brows shall be their pall, their flowers the tenderness of silent maids, and each slow dusk drawing down of blinds. Yeah, so I really like this. There's way more, but I just picked those three quickly. Yeah, hope you like them.